Hey guys, what's up? This is Matt. We're gonna play some. I'm gonna show you some Pauper Reanimator today. Um, Reanimator is a strategy that everybody enjoys in all different formats. How Pauper does it is very all in. At least my version is very all in on the Reanimate strategy. There's very few cards in Pauper that actually get it directly into play, and the primary one being Exhume. Okay, now Exhume has a big drawback in that if your opponent has something in his graveyard, he gets to bring that back too. And also the fatties that we get to bring back aren't nearly as end the game worthy. They're much easier to deal with than in some other formats. So how does the deck work? So the deck uses effects to get your fatties in the yard. Here are your fatties. So we've got Ulamog's Crusher, which is an 8/8 Annihilator 2, so it's pretty tough to deal with. And Hand of Emrakul, which is a 7/7 Annihilator 1. So we use Exhume to get those out of the graveyard. If we don't, if we don't have Exhume, we can use Shred Memory to transmute for Exhume. If we do have Exhume, we can use Shred Memory to remove opponent's creatures from his yard, so his Exhume doesn't get back anything. Bajuka Bog is in there for the same purpose. Now, we also have Dragon Breath. If we can get this in the yard too, then when we reanimate our fatty, it's going to have haste. And having haste with Annihilator will make a huge difference in the ability of your opponent to deal with what you're doing. So to set up your combo, we have Preordain, Brainstorm, and playing, let's see, 6 fetch lands in order to both fix our mana and play well with the Brainstorms. Careful Study is a way to draw 2 and discard 2 to get cards in your yard. And also we have Putrid Imp as another discard outlet, which is our awful but theoretically possible backup win condition, although not really. Dark Ritual is there so we can play fewer lands, and also to make our draws more explosive, because if we can say turn let's say turn 1 play a blue source, turn 2 dark, or not even play a blue source, whatever, we can Dark Ritual, play Putrid Imp. Actually, turn 1 we can Dark Ritual, Putrid Imp, Exhume, right? Putrid Imp discarding a fatty. So theoretically, turn 1 you could reanimate something. It doesn't come up that often, but it's possible. Sideboard I'm not even going to look at because I haven't really messed with this in a long time. Do want to talk about this card because this card is underplayed. This is a 3-mana Wrath, basically. It can kill a lot of things. It's a pretty weird, unusual card, especially for common. But if you can set this up, you can really cream your opponent with it. So anyway, Ostracize is also a cool card that I just haven't found a home for. Now that I look at it, it doesn't make a lot of sense in the deck because you're trying to reanimate. So why would you want to discard your opponent's stuff? Probe does make sense. See if you can go off. Dispel makes sense to counter a counter. So I'm going to basically mostly ignore the sideboard. And it's kind of an all-in strategy anyway. Duress is there to remove a removal spell before you cast your fatty. So let's play some games, see if we can actually go off. If you do work out your game plan, it works really well, but it's fairly easy to interact with, and you have 0 backup plan, so it's pretty terrible late game, basically. So yeah, let's give it a shot.